Well, the Arizona Diamondbacks found a way to get ahead, lose that lead, and then eventually win this game. We have more on why, no matter who our closer is, nothing can be easy for this Diamondbacks team. Also, Geraldo Perdomo continues to be the greatest baseball player alive. We're talking about all this in 30 seconds. We still got some action going on behind us. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. And welcome into Gila River Resorts and Casinos. More importantly, welcome into another edition of the PHNX Diamondbacks podcast right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as your mayor of Gila River Resorts and Casinos. This man dancing next to me over here and feeling the energy. The one and only Damon Dog on the ones and twos. And you know he's excited because Geraldo Perdomo had himself a huge day for the Diamondbacks on a day where this game should have honestly gone much easier on us. We did not need these heart palpitations. We did not need this anxiety created by this team. But once again, the Diamondbacks bullpen proves that they can make nothing's easy. Nothing's easy for this bullpen. Of course, this show is presented by our friends at Bet365 and Game Time. Of course, download the Bet365 app today and use our code of PHNX365 when you sign up. Get yourself some bonus bets. Go over to Game Time. Get yourself some tickets. If you're a first-time customer, use our code of PHNX and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. The Camping World Pro Tour is going on behind me in regards to some bags being tossed and some cornhole going on. But these people were just as lit, they're just as excited to see the Arizona Diamondbacks win today by a score of 11-9 over the Philadelphia Phillies. They avoid getting swept after losing the first two games of the series, which we will talk about ever so briefly, even though I don't really want to talk about those games. But the Dbacks, in a positive note, they have an 8-3 record now in series finales, and they have won 7 of their last 8 finale games of the series. So the Diamondbacks are doing a good job in regards to taking care of business in the series finale. Today, the offense did a great job. They faced Ranger Suarez in his season debut, and he did not last very long against his Arizona Diamondbacks team. In fact, Damon pointed out to me that at one point our friends from the PHLY Phillies broadcast or podcast over there, we're talking about Ranger giving up some hits but not really giving up hard contact. Well, he gave up a lot of hits, that's for sure. In fact, the Diamondbacks were able to get 7 hits off of Ranger Suarez. They got 7 earned runs off of Suarez and knocked him out of the game after just 3 2/3 innings pitched. So the offense was hot early. They gave the Diamondbacks like a 7-1 lead after 4 innings. So things were trending in a very good direction for this Diamondbacks team. We know that the bullpen has been good this year. We just know that it's kind of been taxed. But of course, today was a day where the bullpen not only bent, but absolutely broke, and then still found a way to come back and hold on for an extra innings win over the Philadelphia Phillies. Really appreciate all of you guys being here in the chat. I have to look over here to look at stuff, by the way. So if I'm not looking here, I'm looking over here. It's because I'm looking at your comments. I see Fanatic Z Podcast says, at least we got one. Our pitching is scary as usual. And yes, that was the biggest thing, was the bullpen today. Obviously blew a pretty good size lead. I mean, honestly, Eduardo Rodriguez, after his last start in New York, was absolutely terrible. He was not bad today. He gave the Diamondbacks an absolute chance to win, really when they needed it the most, right? They come off of these 2 games against the Phillies that they lost. Brandon Pfaadt, who's usually our most reliable starter, or at least has been this season, had a very bad outing in game 2. Game 1, we'll talk about, like I said, we'll briefly talk about both these games. I don't even want to talk about them right now. I know you guys probably don't want to talk about them, but Eduardo Rodriguez, again, he had his stuff working for him today. He threw 49% fastballs. He maxed out around 94 miles an hour, actually maxed out at 94 miles an hour, and he had 15 whiffs today. He ends the day with 10 strikeouts. It's not a bad day, but he may have stayed in just 1 inning too long, going 5 1/3 innings, and once he got into that 6th inning, really his pitch count was up to 100. seemed like maybe not the best idea to put him back out there for that inning. And he did give up, of course, some runs there after the fact, because when he came out of the game, Juan Murillo came in. He went 2/3 innings, gets him out of the sixth, but he gave up a hit, gave up a home run, gave up some runs there, and really quickly the Phillies went from being down, what was it, 7-1 to 7-4, back in it. They had another to tack on another one in the seventh inning off of Kevin Ginkel. And you could just kind of see this game that should not have been as close as it was slip away from the Diamondbacks. And to be fair, it wasn't because of Eduardo Rodriguez. Again, he goes 5 1/3 innings pitched today. He gives up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 4 walks, and then 10 strikeouts. And again, I don't know if we didn't bring the cactus light, and we also very much did not bring. I don't think we brought the Circle K strikeout tracker with us either.
It was a big miss to not bring the cactus light.
Like the cactus light, people were chanting for the cactus light after this victory.
Yeah,
and understandably so, because.
And you know what? I'll put some accountability on the plate on this one, Derek. I obviously I've been a little bit removed from the podcast as of recently since the cactus light has started, and when I was packing up the equipment to come here to Gila River, I just didn't think about it.
You just don't. Yeah, I mean, and
hand up, it will never happen again.
I appreciate that. The Cactus Light movement, and it's a movement, Damon, is big. People were chanting Cactus Light during this game here in this room. And of course, it was filled with wonderful people who were here to watch this team win this big baseball game, which I'm glad that we got that. When we all get together, we definitely want to see a win. Today was a good win, a hard-fought win. They kept us glued to the television throughout the final couple of innings, and of course, Diamondbacks figure out a way to pull off the win. Corbin Carroll, 2 for 6 today. Damon said, you said it best, 2 for 6 for Corbin. It's not a terrible day, but for Corbin, somehow that seems like a bad day. 2 for 6, 3 RBI, scored a run. Jose Herrera had a good day at the dish. He was 2 for 4 with 2 RBI, 2 runs scored himself. He had a double, and again, a surprisingly good day from Herrera at the dish. Now, behind the dish, maybe not so much. Herrera did had a couple of pass balls, one that ended up being absolutely critical. That was a big reason why this game went into extra innings. And of course, if Herrera finds a way to block that pitch, then maybe we're talking about the Diamondbacks ending this one in 9 instead of ending it in 10. But Damon also found his pitch framing to be egregious. And Damon, I completely kind of feel you on this. One of his big problems with the pitch framing was how obvious it was that the pitch wasn't in the strike zone and that Herrera was trying his best to just fool the umpire. And after a while, you almost feel like the umpire is not even going to give you close calls anymore because of your blatant lies with your glove, basically. I mean, you got to appreciate what he was trying to do for this team. However, kind of egregious at times.
I mean, I know I'm a petty man, Derek.
Yes.
But I genuinely, if I was the ump in that situation, I'm like, dude, that pitch is 8 inches out of the zone.
Yeah.
And next time there's a borderline pitch, I'm calling it a ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of my biggest pet peeves watching baseball is when catchers just try to make everything look like a strike. You're like, that wasn't even close.
Yeah. Elise says in the chat, Herrera doesn't do much well defensively, to be honest. And I mean, again, it's not great when Herrera's out there. However, you feel like you've seen Herrera more than you would want to see him. And it's because it's a position back there at catcher that they're going to have to relieve Gabby. And as much as we all want to see Gabby Moreno behind the plate for every game, it's nice to at least see Jose Herrera have a good day at the dish like this. However, you do feel like if Gabby was catching this game, that the outcome might have been a little different. We might have seen this team be able to wrap stuff up in, I guess, in regulation, if you will, instead of going into extras. Bullpen, I don't even know what to say anymore about the bullpen, you guys. I don't. Because, again, I know bullpens aren't perfect. It's the reason why you're a relief pitcher. You had Ryan Thompson give them a nice outing today. Once again, I don't understand where this version of Ryan Thompson came from. It's like 2023 Ryan Thompson all over again. And it's not like he's been good this entire year. It's just like over the last 2-3 weeks, Thompson has become one of the most vital pieces of their bullpen, at least getting them to the 9th inning. It just feels like no matter who they have in there at the 9th inning, once again, can't get the job done. And that happened again today with Shelby Miller. Kevin Ginkel gave him an inning of work. He gave up 1 hit, 1 earned run. He walked 1, struck out 1. not a terrible day. But again, this all got the Diamondbacks to be, essentially a close game at that point, right? It was 9-7 there heading in, or 8-7 heading into the ninth inning. The Diamondbacks end up getting an absolutely critical RBI in the top of the ninth, because had they not gotten that, they would have been walked off in the bottom of the inning. So Randall Grichuk, a.k.a. Randy, we're calling him Randy now. We're calling him whatever we need to call him to get more of this. But his RBI double there in the ninth inning that went only 208 feet and had a 99.1 mile per hour exit velo is our Sanderson Ford deep drive of the game. And it has to be, because the Arizona Diamondbacks did not hit a home run in this game. And based on the importance of that very, very important run there added in the ninth inning, the Diamondbacks were able to hang on, go into extra innings against this Phillies team who came back in the ninth inning. They get 2 runs against Shelby Miller. And again, just a frustrating day, I'm sure, on the mound for Miller, a frustrating day to watch our closer come out there and struggle. For all the Diamondbacks fans out there watching this game, Miller goes out there. He does give them an inning of work. He gives up 4 hits. He gives up 2 earned runs. He struck out 2. He gives up that home run. And it was just, another instance of the Diamondbacks bullpen not being able to lock things down. Miller has been the Diamondbacks' top reliever this season. He has not allowed an earned run prior to this game. He comes in for the close, gives up 2 earned runs, and this game goes into extra innings. I don't know where people want to place blame, but I guess we should place blame on whatever magical curse that is put on this team in regards to the bullpen. I want to believe that it's not a curse. I want to believe it's not something magical, but I have no way to prove that at this point, because it feels like no matter what happens, no matter who the Diamondbacks get, no matter who they put into that ninth inning role, that person is either going to get injured or they're not going to be able to do the job consistently like you expect them to do. I know Torrey tends to shy away from using guys in consecutive days or using guys often, but the closer is going to get used often. And quite frankly, I thought maybe Shelby Miller was the guy for this team. It felt like so far this season, he has been the least stressful, the guy that can kind of go in there either with inherited runners or with a clean inning and just kind of get the job done. And again, you look at his numbers this season, you felt confident that of the available options, Shelby Miller is the one that you would want to see in that role. And today, unfortunately, he blows the save. It's his second blown save. However, he does get the win, which once again proves that wins in baseball are stupid. They're a stupid stat. But the big story today was Geraldo Perdomo, who could not be stopped. This man continues his tear that he's currently on, and today was probably a fairly legendary Geraldo Perdomo game. They do not get the job done without Perdomo's contributions, and he had himself a big day. He was 4 for 5, 2 runs scored. He had 3 RBI, another walk. He continues to lead all Major League Baseball shortstops and walks. And of course, there's nobody that deserves it more than Geraldo Perdomo. He is our king snake for today's game. Again, just another incredible outing or another incredible performance for Geraldo Perdomo. Another day where he was everywhere. He was places defensively. He was doing things offensively, and he's the spark. He is the guy that whenever the offense gets going, you feel like Perdomo is right in the middle of it, either starting it. He's either getting that big hit with runners in scoring position, or, again, he's drawing a walk, making sure that he's a runner on base. He just continues to get better and better this season. And it's wild because we used to say last year that what Jerry P did so well didn't necessarily show up in the stat line. You would look some of his batting average, some of his other power numbers, they weren't really there. That's not the case this season. Perdomo's hitting .292 now with an .875 OPS. And he just has been, ever since the extension, a different baseball player. It felt like there were some nerves there early on, maybe some performance anxiety, trying to live up to getting a contract extension like that, right? Like that kind of thing can put a lot of pressure on an athlete. But now you're talking about 29 RBI this season, 5 home runs this season. He has 35 hits, a 400 on-base percentage. And again, the Diamondbacks have not been getting contributions from a lot of guys on this team. And he has been the guy that's been picking up the slack. Even Corbin Carroll has cooled off as of late. You know, a couple of other guys have come back down to earth. Pavin Smith is no longer hitting 400. Josh Naylor is just a little bit above 300 at 304. But Geraldo Perdomo, man, I mean, the Diamondbacks now sit at 18-16 this season, and I doubt they're even at 15 wins without Perdomo and what he's been able to do for this team this year. So just a huge part, not only of today's win, but of every win the Diamondbacks have had this season. I still just don't know why we can't have a closer. Why can't we have a closer? Like, I kind of understand Torey not wanting to name a closer, right? Because when he did, the guy's arm would fall off or he would have 108 ERA.
Feels like a curse.
Yeah, like, again, you don't want to believe like there are so many of you that believe when I tweet things out from our account that I directly impacted the baseball game. And you know what? You're right. You're not wrong about that. However, this is like I would start to, after a while, if I was Torey, start to feel like no matter who I named closer was going to suddenly become the worst pitcher on the team.
Do you think that in the Dbacks front office, in the clubhouse, they call it the C word? Like someone's like, who's the closer?
Oh, yeah. Hey, you didn't close the door. Don't take no C word at all in any capacity in this office, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, it's almost laughable. You know what I mean? Like future generations are going to need to study the Diamondbacks' lack of success with having an actual closer that they named a closer, right? They're going to be like, what is this anomaly, Fernando Rodney, right? But outside of that, it's going to be this weird sense of, this franchise being cursed, right? So I don't know. I don't have an answer here. I still think Shelby Miller will get opportunities. I don't think that this one outing is going to be the end of Miller being in that closer role, simply because, again, without sufficient left-handed pitching in the bullpen, it's not like Torey has the opportunity to go to another guy. He's just going to go to a different right-hander that isn't, Shelby Miller. And quite frankly, I don't know if anybody today, besides maybe Ryan Thompson, proved that they can excel in that role. And I'm sure if you put T-Time in that role, even he would fall apart, because that seems to be what happens in the ninth inning for any pitcher for this team. However, today is a good day. I mean, again, I know that there's ups and downs. I think that there is something to be said, though, about your team experiencing hardships over the course of a game, having a game not go their way, and fighting back after they already fought so hard to get a lead and to be winning a baseball game, to fight back late and to walk away with a win here out of Philadelphia, avoid the sweep. They end up going 3-3 on the road trip, which overall, all things considered, doesn't look nearly as bad as this road trip could have looked, considering the condition this team came into the road trip, left Arizona in, right? So I think that a lot of people would have accepted 3-3 as a reasonable outcome of this road trip, and that's where we stand right now. But we were going to talk about the other losses of this series and how heartbreaking they were on the other side of this break, even though I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, but we're going to do it anyway. So don't you go anywhere. Stick around. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Of course, a great way to watch a Diamondbacks game and to not be riddled with anxiety is to check out our friends from Pure Edibles. Pure Edibles have gummies and other candies. They are a full-fledged candy company offering those gummies, kicks, which are like Starbursts, chews, and hard candies, and they all offer some amazing effects. Their gummies are not covered in sugar like all of their competitors, and Pure effects are clearly listed on each tin, so you know exactly what effects to expect, whether it's a sleep edition gummy, whether you're looking to get yourself a soft chew, or maybe a kick that has uplifting effects derived with unique cannabinoids such as CBN, CBG, and CBD. Those are all combined with THC to give you a very pleasant experience. And of course, it's all science, so I can't even begin to break it down for you. But what I can say is whatever the effects are listed on the tin is exactly what you'll experience. And sometimes in life, there's nothing better than getting a great night of sleep with Pure Edibles. Of course, they were created right here in Flagstaff, Arizona at Noble Herb Dispensary, the home of Pure Edibles, and they are now made right here in Phoenix, Arizona. So go find yourself some Pure Edible products from one of over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. And while you're driving around, stop by Circle K. Get yourself prepped for your pure edibles by stopping, getting yourself some snacks, get yourself something to drink, because Circle K is America's thirst stop. And right now, if you join their inner circle for absolutely free, you'll get some free stuff like your first 5 Polar Pops for free. You also save 25 cents off per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. You'll save 3 cents per gallon every day after that. And they have all sorts of unique, fun giveaway items, deals, member exclusive deals and discounts in the app for you to get down on. Also, May 6th is right around the corner, and that is the Circle K Big Giveaway Day. I'm in there. Damon's in there. You should be in there too. Customers can enter to win cash, prizes, and more. All you got to do is visit circlek.com/big-giveaway today and join the inner circle right now for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions do apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details. Well, Damon, let's talk about the other heartbreaking losses over the course of the weekend, shall we?
Can I audible real quick on you?
I don't want to audible. What are we audible?
I just wanted to say a couple people in the chat said that we should call Perdomo the King Frog.
Oh my God.
We might need to make a new graphic for only when Perdomo wins, so that he's the King Frog.
This is absolutely something we
need
to do.
Jacob Franklin wanted to know.
Oh, Jacob Franklin.
What I should put on the line if Perdomo was to reach 100 RBI this season.
Wow.
And okay, well, so I'm in. I'll do it. I don't know.
As you know, I've put my beard on the line for Gino's home run total.
Certainly.
Right? I even lowered it because 50 seemed unattainable after he slumped. So I was like, you know what? I'm giving Gino 40. Giving Gino 40, and this gray beard becomes teal. Damon, I feel like a mullet is appropriate.
I don't know if I have that in my bag, brother.
Damon, this crowd, when they showed one of the guys on the cornhole tournament with a mullet, this crowd lost their minds. And when I'm talking about a crowd, I mean me. I lost my mind for this big fella. I don't know. I'm always trying to figure out a way to get a mullet involved. I feel like I should offer up a mullet, but I that's definitely not a look anybody wants to see.
I think if I could do a mullet, I would have one already now.
That's true. That's true. You with a mullet and those Shady Rays big glasses you got, that's a look that goes
Maybe
hard.
I could do some tips or something, you know. We'll keep it. I'll tell you what, chat, I will definitely do something if Perdomo reaches 100 RBI this year. We will, as a family, we will sit down, break some bread, discuss it, and get back to the people on it.
I love it. Well, speaking of the people probably are upset after watching Friday's game where the Diamondbacks had a good shot to win a close one. And I know that so far, the games in New York made me start believing in this team winning close games. And then these games in Philadelphia very much stole that away from me. Diamondbacks were up 2-1 in the 7th inning. Torey Lovullo puts out in the game reliever Jose Castillo, who, by the way, as pointed out online, had a 108 ERA in 2023. Now, it was just one start where he pitched a third of an inning, or not a start, one game, third of an inning, gave up 4 runs. But that equals 108 ERA, and that's what his last major league ERA was. Right now, his current ERA, not great, sitting at 18 after he comes into the game, gives up 2 very critical home runs there in the game late. And basically, that's what ended it. That was the difference maker. The 2 home runs that Castillo gave up was the difference maker. Diamondbacks lose that one by a score of 3-2. Now, obviously, the offense didn't get going in that one, only scoring 2 runs. And against a potent offense like the Philadelphia Phillies, you can't really expect to win a ball game when you're only scoring 2 runs. It's just unfortunate that the Diamondbacks, once again, hampered by these injuries, hampered by a limited bullpen, had to put in a guy who, quite frankly, didn't seem like a great choice. Didn't seem like a great choice to even be called up and added to this roster. But just due to the limitations right now that they have, the Diamondbacks are forced to kind of look to guys that have major league experience of any kind, even if they haven't been good at a major league level, rather than calling up the unknown youngsters that are still developing, quite frankly, and you still don't know what you're going to get out of when they come up. But in this one, I think you could argue what you knew you were going to get out of Jose Castillo, and you got exactly that. So I don't know really to blame much on anybody there besides Castillo once again. But again, Torey putting him in that high leverage situation probably wasn't the best idea, although he, again, didn't have many options. And You got Merrill Kelly, who unfortunately left that game early due to cramping. He only thrown 60 pitches after 5 innings pitched. He'd only give up a single earned run. He struck out 2, gave up 4 hits. Merrill was kind of cruising in that game, and unfortunately, he had to leave due to those cramps. Unsure yet how those cramps will impact his next start. So far, it would appear that Merrill is not going to miss any time. But we do know, and we do have some more information here in a little bit, that Corbin Burnes is going to miss time, and that stings quite a bit. Meanwhile, there in game 2, Brandon Pfaadt finally came down to earth. He was one of the Diamondbacks' best pitchers in history so far to begin the season, and now we see that Brandon Pfaadt is mortal. He is a mere mortal. Not a great outing for him. Also, some weird weather situation in that game. A lot of people didn't feel like they should have even been playing baseball in the rain that was coming down at one point. I don't know if you really want to blame that. Brandon Pfaadt did give up 3 runs in the second, 3 runs in the third, 1 run there in the 4th inning. All of those runs that he gave up were all early. He did not have himself a long outing. He only went 4 2/3, giving up 9 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned. He walked 1 and struck out 6. I'm not going to look too much into that one, honestly, because Brandon Pfaadt, like the conditions and everything will allow me to at least excuse, that one outing until we see, something worse, I guess, from Brandon Pfaadt. But not a great day and not a great outing, especially considering what Pfaadt has given this team up to this point. His ERA basically goes up a whole run. I think he was at like 2.79. Now he's at like 3.79. But again, not a ton of offense either of these days from the Diamondbacks. They're only able to muster up 2 runs per day. We're going to take a look at the numbers from the overall series, but this one was just kind of a stinker for the Diamondbacks. I mean, they came into the series not really having a super hot offense. They did get Ketel Marte back. Ketel, was 1 for 4 in the first game, 0 for 3 in the second game with a walk. Not impacting, the ball offensively a whole lot right now. But again, just good to see him back there. Good to see him getting back into the swing of things. We just need something to spark this offense. And today, that thing was Geraldo Perdomo. Geraldo Perdomo got the offense going today. And he just did an incredible job of, again, going out there, kind of doing whatever it takes. Like, I feel like that's the one reason why Perdomo is experiencing so much success. He's taking what the opposing team is giving him, and he's just working. He's working his butt off right now to do everything he can to get on base. Damon, we don't have any. I haven't missed any super chats because I haven't been looking over here yet. Okay, good.
No, not yet. But I want to approach a conversation with you. I'm sure that you and Kevin talked about it, but what do you do with Merrill Kelly at this point? Like,
I don't know.
It's one of those situations where you don't want to blame the guy.
No,
but it's also getting to the point where like this fan base is completely annoyed by these cramps. And like you'd think that a professional organization would be able to figure out that issue and kind of weed it out. I was on Twitter and some random guy was saying that like he was a cyclist and he had really bad leg cramp problems, and like he figured out a method in which to fix it and never had those problems again. And it just feels like there is some fix that's out there and we just can't find it yet, but it needs to happen soon. And Merrill reciprocated that same point. He was like, I'm sure the fans are getting annoyed. I'm getting annoyed.
Yeah. I think, honestly, it's not the normal cramping. I think that part of it could be due to Merrill's age. And look, I'm 44 years old. I'm cramping right now as we speak. That's how often I cramp, right? Like, my body is not the same as it was prior to the.
You'd be screaming in agony right now.
God, yeah, I know. Yeah, like, my sciatica, right? No, but like like legitimately, I'm no athlete. I'm not anybody that's kept myself in good shape, but I do work out. I do run, and I have noticed that, like, especially over the last 5 years, no matter how much I'm working to stay in shape, now there are pains that just don't go away. And again, it's pains that when you're my age and you take them to your doctor, you're like, doctor, I have a cramp in my right shoulder blade. And he'll be like, yeah, that's called a pinched nerve. And I'm like, cool, what can we do about that? He's like, nothing. just you have a pinched nerve now. That's what you got.
Pray you don't get a second.
Yeah, lean on your left side and kind of roll a little bit. It'll kind of maybe help out. But like, I do think that there is something to the idea that Merrill is the age that he is, and that sometimes your body just doesn't recover, respond, doesn't bounce back. And that includes over the course of a baseball game where you're hydrating yourself in between innings and trying to do all of that stuff to avoid getting cramps, and yet it still happens. What I think is crazy personally, and I could be wrong about this, the Diamondbacks might be an absolute clown show when it comes to their medical staff. But I feel like they're not. I feel like they're respected. I feel like the Diamondbacks are a professional sports organization and have a solid medical team there. And I feel like they have probably tried all of the things that people on Twitter are suggesting that they try. I'm sure they've given Merrill Kelly bananas and Pedialyte and even maybe fluids in between innings. I'm sure that every possible conceivable solution that we can think of, even people that have gone through cramping and have had doctors or hospitals assist with it, are probably things that they've tried to do with Merrill Kelly. And unfortunately, it just doesn't seem to be working. And I don't know. Ryan says Merrill needs a hydration electrolyte drink partnership. Maybe, you know what? I bet that commercial will be way better than Zach Gallen's milk commercial. That's for sure. Because that thing needs some cleaning up. We need a rewrite on that Zach Gallen commercial for sure. Okay, I'm going to give you because we were talking about earlier. Here is my proposed Zach Gallen Milkman commercial. There's a group of people making a commercial at Chase Field, standing on the mound. Zach Gallen comes out wearing a full milkman costume from like the 50s, bow tie, white hat, the whole bit, holding a little thing of milk. And he could be like, is this really what you guys wanted me to wear? And they're like, yeah, you're the milkman. I'm saying it right this time, I think. I don't know. I'm going to need Damon to weigh in because apparently I say the word milk wrong, Damon. But anyway.
People are putting milks in the chat.
Yeah, there's milks going in I knew there was going to be. So, you could have him come out and say, why am I dressed like this? They're like, you're the milkman. This is cool. And he's like, yeah, but this isn't the milk. This is, you're the milk. This is old milk. The new milk is the protein milk that helps you as an athlete. And that right there could be Zach Gallen telling you why their product at Shamrock Farms is so good. No free ads. But I will say, there's some comedy to be had there. I want you guys to try harder.
It's one of the worst commercials I've ever watched. Given like
it's because it's because it's Zach Gallen bench pressing, right?
That's definitely number one worst part of the commercial. But it's like where we are with technology and as a society when it comes to commercials, it's just out of place.
Yeah,
it looks like a commercial A-Rod would have done when he was on the Seattle Mariners in the 90s.
Yeah. You're not wrong. One thing I did want to address before we move on and talk about the numbers of the overall series was how Lourdes Gurriel is kind of back over the course of the weekend, right? Lourdes Gurriel went 3 for 4 on Friday. On Saturday, he goes 2 for 4 with a home run. So, again, these are baby steps, but we know once Lourdes gets hot, don't let Lourdes get hot, because once he gets hot, he stays hot for a very short period of time. But he's very hot during that period of time, so don't let Lourdes get hot. But again, this was another big win today, based on the fact that the Diamondbacks kind of lost that heartbreaking game on Friday, and then of course they kind of get thumped there on Saturday. But they come back, they win today, extra innings, 11-9, and this team again, it's still kind of an enigma because again, Lourdes was 0 for 3 today, but you just don't know what you're going to get out of any given player at any given time on this team, with the exception of Perdomo. Perdomo right now seems to be the guy that even on a bad day still finds ways to get on base and still finds a way to impact baseball games. And Diamondbacks need much more of that right now. But credit to Lourdes there, because he's been struggling this season, and he finally found a little bit of success this weekend. He gets his batting average back above 200 at 208. So, quite frankly, the Diamondbacks don't need Lourdes and Gino to be knocking the cover off the ball. They need Lourdes and Gino to be hitting 250. That's what they need. They need Gino and Lourdes to be able to deliver with runners in scoring position. And I mean, that little bit of a change, that little bit, those contributions from guys not named Corbin Carroll and not named Geraldo Perdomo would mean the world to this team. And I'm no disrespect to Josh Naylor, because he's been consistently doing it all year long. But quite frankly, Randall Grichuk 1 for 5 today, had a huge hit. It was our Sanderson 4 deep drive of the game, but he's still hitting 216 with a 646 OPS.
Randy,
we need to talk. What was our other name that we were going to call him?
No, Randall from Monsters Inc.
Randall, yeah, that's right.
We were going to play off that.
We have a lot of memes planned, but we need you to step it up so that I can go make the Grinchick Who Stole Christmas thing, I need that in my life, and I think these people need it as much as they need air. But we are going to talk about the numbers from this series because baseball is always weird, and of course, things are always close, even if the Diamondbacks lose 2 out of 3 to the Phillies. We're going to talk about it on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Of course, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And no disrespect to the good people here at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, but Bet365, got it on your phone, got it on your app. You're ready to go at all times. So if you can't be here having a wonderful time at the sports book, you can be out at home or anywhere else here using the Bet365 app, betting on live in-game betting, which of course they pioneered live in-game betting, and they offer the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 different sports. They also stream 780,000 events each year. So once again, if you're on the go, it's a great place for you to watch your sports. With the Bet365 early payout offer for Major League Baseball, you're a winner with an instant payout if your team goes up by 5 runs. That counts for straight bets and parlay selections as well. So do not miss out on the fun over at Bet365. Right now, new customers can receive $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. All you got to do is sign up, use the code of PHNX365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 or more to receive $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, players, props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or over and physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, text NEXT STEP to 53342, or visit problemgambling.az.gov. And you know who can help out with those Zach Gallen commercials is our friends at All Pro Shade Concepts, because they make some amazing commercials. But and they even did one with Espo, which was amazing. And you know Espo, yeah, he's definitely an acquired taste. So you just gotta, you never know when it's gonna hit home with an Espo joke. And that one to the moon with that one. But what they do better than commercials is they do shades better. They do extending outdoor living spaces better than anyone else, and they can help you extend your outdoor living space with a custom fit awning. They have hundreds of designs and colors to choose from to match any home. They can work with your HOA. They can also add special features like remote control, LED lights, and so much more. They also offer roll down patio shades, which can help keep your patio or even your home up to 20 degrees cooler, especially during these hot summers here in Arizona. And they have been in business for 20 years in the Valley, so you know that they are trusted and beloved. They are voted number 1 by Ranking Arizona for patio shades in 2024. They are licensed, bonded, and insured, and you can give them a call right now at 623-204-1476 or visit allproshadeconcepts.com right now to schedule your free estimate. All right, Damon. Well, of course, once again, we got to prove that baseball is weird and the Diamondbacks offense is kind of struggling here. Let's take a look at by the numbers presented by our friends at Desert Financial. Of course, these numbers are always weird to me, especially the post-series numbers. We got here the Phillies scoring 19 runs to the Diamondbacks 15. The Phillies hit 7 home runs in this series. The Diamondbacks one lowly Geraldo didn't know a home run. One lowly Lourdes Gurriel home run in this series. The Phillies were 9 for 23 with runners in scoring position to the Diamondbacks 8 for 25. Neither team was awful, but the Phillies definitely took advantage of their opportunities a bit more. Starting pitching ERA was terrible for both teams. Obviously, you had a really bad start today from Ranger Suarez, only going 3 2/3 innings, allowing 7 earned runs. And then to match that, you had Brandon Pfaadt in game 2 yesterday going 4 2/3 and allowing 6 earned runs. So that was pretty much a wash. Aaron Nola, who has been struggling this year, was incredible for the Phillies. He didn't allow an earned run in 6 innings. And again, you had Merrill Kelly going 5 innings and giving up just the 1 earned run. Really feels like the Diamondbacks were just maybe 1 more Merrill Kelly, maybe 2 more Merrill Kelly innings away from, maybe that game not turning on them and us right now talking about another series victory instead of a series loss. But especially considering he was at 60 pitches, Damon. He was only at 60 pitches after 5 innings pitched. At 60 pitches, he could have gone 7, right? You know what I mean? And maybe it wouldn't have been perfect. Who knows how that outcome ends up. You just know that Merrill tends to only give up runs early and gets stronger as the outings go on, as long as he is not hampered by, cramps. And that's what happened today. Relief pitching ERA, 3.46 for the Phillies. They were pretty good. Today was pretty much their one bad day, considering how much they had to pick up the slack for Suarez. And then Diamondbacks relief ERA, not good at 4.91, quite frankly. They gave up a lot of earned runs today, and that was the big difference. I mean, no earned runs allowed in the series by the bullpen up until, that's wrong. I'm sorry. 2 earned runs. Two critical earned runs in first game. No earned runs yesterday, 4 earned runs today for the bullpen. So, oh man, not a great day, but also at least the Diamondbacks found a way to win this one. I know people aren't really satisfied with the win, and that's understandable, but good baseball teams find ways to win games even when they're ugly wins, and right now Diamondbacks have been doing that this season, not just today, but all season long. But we do have to win every game, basically. That's the way it feels like with this NL West. Let's take a look at the standings update. We have that, Damon. I don't want to look at it. Where are we at with it? Because these are not these are not ever good. It's never a good update when you have to look at the standings for the NL West. We had a great question from our girl Chris, by the way, which we will be bringing up on Mailbag Monday. But she wanted us to start thinking about it now, and that is, and I'll put it out there to you guys, which division in all of baseball has the best ballparks? It's a good question. It feels like the NL West could definitely be a top contender for that. She made a strong case for that. I like the NL Central myself because 2 of my favorite ballparks are in that division. And Damon kind of agreed with Chris in regards
I said
to
the West. I also we'll talk about it a little bit more, but
yeah.
I also think that the AL East deserves a shout, and the Rays are just weighing things down.
No, yeah, you're right about that. Not just forget their whole terrible situation of playing at a Yankees minor league ballpark, right? Just in general, Tropicana already weighed the division down. But what's sad is that Chase Field is the weak link in this division, right? You look around
sadly,
the Rockies are a bad baseball team, but their ballpark is beautiful. And then you have all 3 of the West Coast ones, with the Dodgers probably being the weakest one out of the 3 California ballparks, right?
and it's a great stadium.
It's a great stadium, but I'd put Petco, and I would put obviously, what is it, Oracle now?
I think it's Oracle.
Anyway,
Park. I like AT&T better.
Yeah, AT&T was good. What do we got here for the standings? We can
let's
those up
look
there.
At it.
Yeah, let's. Monitor, we worry, we keep an eye on everything. But Damon, it's just, again,
they had you muted for that beginning portion of that. Sorry.
Oh, okay. How much of that? So they missed everything, basically.
Yes.
Everything
Until
I had to say.
Graphic, yeah.
All right. Well, of course. Okay. So here's what we have here. We got the Dodgers leading the way, 7-game winning streak. They are 7-3 in their last 10. And yeah, man. I mean, what I was saying while muted is that the relevancy here is staying above 500. Like right now, the Diamondbacks are just 2 games above 500, and we have no business even talking about standings this early. We have no business even looking at standings or worrying about standings until we get into July and beyond. However, this division is so good. You can't slip back, and you can't think we're going to make up ground later, because quite frankly, the Diamondbacks are already a team, and I think all teams in the NL West are teams that kind of check that box of the division winner being the Dodgers. It doesn't mean that's necessarily what's going to happen, but you just kind of feel like that's an easy bet to make, or at least a foregone conclusion to make, right? So then from that point on, you have all 3 teams that are relevant right now in the division all kind of focused on those wild card spots. Like this could get away from the Diamondbacks really quickly, especially with the pile of injuries to the Diamondbacks pitching that we're going to talk about on the other side of this break, which again, I don't want to, but
quick look behind the curtain there. I pulled up the standings, and immediately Derek just started blaring out curse words all over the place. I had to press the mute button because he was just so angry seeing those 3 teams ahead of the Diamondbacks, and yeah, it just was a nasty situation here at Gila River.
I actually said words that I don't even normally say. I apologize. I think some of the servers are going to think differently of me behind me now.
Turn some heads.
It's look, when you take a look at the division and you see the Dodgers have won their last 7 games straight, you shout curse words. You just involuntarily shout curse words. But I did want to give a huge shout out to everybody that showed up here today at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass. You guys are amazing. The turnout was incredible. And I don't know. I know you do a lot of Cardinals stuff, Damon. I know that the Cardinals audience is good. It's a strong group. The numbers are strong. But the quality of baseball watching with our little community that we've grown to be close with here is second to none, quite frankly.
I'll tell you this much, Derek. If there was a war between diehard groups inside of, PHNX communities, like if they had to associate with one, we might not have the numbers, but I guarantee we have the morale.
We're small but mighty.
We got passion on our side. Yeah. This fan base and these diehards in this community are unbelievable, and man, do they just love baseball.
These people turned a baseball watch party into a cornhole watch party, and the environment has never been more electric. 2 sporting events at once. They weren't even familiar with the players on the cornhole tournament, but that did not stop them from fully committing to fan favorites, to booing guys, to finding people to villainize. It was great. It was great. And quite frankly, always a good time. I recommend it strongly for you guys to come out. If you've never come out and experienced one of our watch parties or our takeover events, it's about more than baseball. It's about more than baseball. I don't mean to be getting all deep, but it is just sometimes about more than baseball. But of course, we have some stuff to talk about here, and that is more injuries to the Arizona Diamondbacks pitching staff. That's just great. That's just peachy keen right now. Per Nick Picoro of the Arizona Republic, Corbin Burnes is battling inflammation in his right shoulder. The Diamondbacks intend to scratch Burnes from his next start, which is tomorrow against the New York Mets at Chase Field, and see what happens from there. What is happening to our pitching? I said earlier some things about the medical staff, and I can understand people starting to question it. It's almost comical at this point how many injuries the Diamondbacks have experienced, how, again, probably 45 days ago, the conversations on this show were about the incredible amount of depth that the Diamondbacks had, but not just position players at pitching, specifically pitching depth that the Diamondbacks had. And now you take a look at this list. It started off with Blake Walston, a depth piece for the Diamondbacks in AAA, losing his season to a torn UCL. He misses it due to needing Tommy John surgery. Jordan Montgomery, gone for the season due to Tommy John surgery. Kendall Graveman still hasn't played a game for the Diamondbacks due to his injury. Kevin Ginkel just returned from injury. The Diamondbacks had to go out and acquire Dbacks and bring Shelby Miller into the bullpen in order for them to kind of fill things out with those 2 guys missing, and those additions, Dbacks specifically being from outside of the organization, were huge. They were huge then. They've been huge all season and will continue to be huge going forward, especially with the lack of left-handed pitching in the bullpen. Then you have A.J. Puck, speaking of which, that was recently transferred to the 60-day IL. You have Justin Martinez. Those are both the Diamondbacks' closing options. Both of those are on the IL. Justin Martinez on the 15-day IL. Now you have Merrill Kelly experiencing cramps that we don't think is going to impact his next start, but still don't have any confirmation on that. And Corbin Burnes now being lost for an undetermined amount of time, essentially not going on the IL. He's currently listed as day-to-day with right shoulder inflammation. You can't even make this stuff up. And now Elise is questioning if Graveman even exists as a human being. And the sad part is, I don't know. I can't say. I haven't seen him with my own eyes. I haven't seen him physically. I've seen him on camera. I've seen him, but we live in an era of AI.
I mean, the moon landing was on camera.
He did air quotes when he did that too. He said the moon landing. Not to mention CGI. Have you seen what people can do with CGI? It's incredible. So I don't know. Kendall Graveman might not actually be a human being. He might not even exist as a person. I haven't seen a birth certificate or a social security number at all, but we do have to take a look at the probable pitchers for this series. I think we have that graphic. And again, TBD tomorrow, very much looking like it is going to be Ryan.
Stud. TBD is an absolute stud. Unhittable.
He's unhittable. I mean, he never wins baseball games, but he doesn't give up runs.
Can we get some offense going for TBD?
Yeah. Always a no decision for this poor guy. Ryan Nelson most likely will be actually playing the role of TBD in game one, it would appear. Didn't really get any clarification from today's game because it was based on who you might see warming up in the pen there in the 10th inning, whether it was going to be Tommy Henry, who was recently called up. He was recalled from AAA Reno, and they optioned Scott McGough down to Reno, which that made a lot of people happy. And then you got Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly going in games 2 and 3 in this series against, once again, a tough Mets team that the Diamondbacks just managed to win their first series against at Citi Field since 2017. And quite frankly, haven't had a lot of luck against in that period of time, just in general, even away from Citi Field. But you got to feel good here with the way Zach Gallen has been pitching. However, this is Zach Gallen pitching against a New York team in Arizona, which means we have no idea. If it was a New York team in New York, I would go out there and hit the over on every single Zach Gallen metric except runs allowed. I would say he's going to go 6 innings. I would say he's going to get 14 strikeouts. I would say he's going to give up 2 or less runs. But he's back home at Chase Field, which, of course, that kind of makes it mean nothing. Again, Peterson going for the Mets, and then you got Kodai Senga in the final going up against Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly really, that's the big question mark for me here. I feel like I feel very confident about Ryan Nelson's ability to go out there and start in a baseball game. Ryan Nelson has been great out of the bullpen for this team, but Merrill Kelly, hopefully he can go in that game. It's like if Merrill Kelly, for some reason, can't go in game 3, I know it's May.
Thank you, fans.
I'm gonna start panicking.
Thank you,
I won't
fans.
lie. Yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap on the season. Well, where do they go from here? Right? It's laughable. It's comical. Like I said earlier, it's egregious that the fact that the Diamondbacks had so much depth to the point where we were like, oh man, we're gonna have to put 2 starters in the pen, or we're going to have to send Brandon Pfaadt down to Reno, or we're going to have to do any of this stuff, now find themselves literally kind of at the end of their depth, right? I mean, no disrespect to Tommy Henry, but when you're calling someone like Tommy Henry up, that's, especially with where they were at one point, that's not great. It's kind of similar when you called up Scott McGough, though, too. It just kind of showed that the Diamondbacks were kind of at the bottom of their barrel, and they weren't really, they weren't, you know, they didn't have many good options left. I mean, Jesse just said on Friday's show that the thinner their depth gets, the more there's a really good chance that we could even see someone like Yu-Min Lin make his major league debut this year. Maybe out of the bullpen, maybe as a starter. Who knows? But you would prefer that not to happen. You would definitely prefer to not have to go that deep down the well this year in order for the Diamondbacks to be able to stay competitive. But quite frankly, that's where they're at. And now there's a celebration going on.
Are you hearing this mariachi music?
Oh, this is electric.
Derek, this is where I'm at with it. Do I need to go down there and say, hey, here's this song for you. It's called Latin Trap.
Yeah. Can you get them the sheet music?
Yeah. Do you think I need to go get them the sheet music for our show intro and have them play it right now?
If you do, I will go down there and dance for the camera. I will dance for this crowd right now. By the way, it was May the 4th, and the Diamondbacks did put up their bunch of runs today in the 4th inning. So that was fun that the 4th inning, may the 4th inning be with you today on a Star Wars day. Damon, I know that you're the producer for the podcast that has the 2 biggest Star Wars fans on the planet, Johnny Venerable, and then even a bigger Star Wars fan than Johnny Venerable, Bo Brock.
Bo Brock, the biggest Star Wars guy.
Oh my God. What is Bo Brock doing today for a Star Wars celebration? He had to the decorations are out. The people are over.
It's
We're
like
watching
Christmas.
a marathon of the movies
Yeah.
from start to beginning.
Exactly.
Or start to end, right?
He's watching 9 movies today. Bo Brock woke up at 7 in the morning and immediately just put in Phantom Menace and said, we're going to go through this chronologically.
Yeah. We're not doing it out of order. We're going through the 1 through 9 in order. Absolutely. I hope you guys are all doing something similar as well. If you haven't watched the Star Wars shows, go do that. Andor is incredible. There is a Star Wars show for you, no matter the age or I guess level of seriousness you like to your content, right? If you're a kid, Skeleton Crew, go watch that immediately. If you're a grown adult that thinks you're too grown to watch Star Wars movies, go watch Andor. Go watch Andor and then go watch Rogue One and tell me you don't cry by the end of that. Because I dare you to do so. But again, a wonderful day for you to go take in some amazing Star Wars content. I am taking my daughter to go see Thunderbolts because if I don't do that immediately, she is going to kill me. She is so mad at me that we haven't already seen it. So that is something that I'm going to change immediately. But Diamondbacks win. We got ourselves an amazing week ahead back at Chase Field. And again, this is the month of May. Things do not get easy for this team. There's no breaks. It's all gas, no breaks. You got Mets coming to town. You got Dodgers coming to town. Things at no point get any easier for this team ahead. So this is going to be a gauntlet. If the Diamondbacks can somehow make it through the month of May, very similar to the month of April back in that beautiful, wonderful 2023 season, you got to feel confident that if this team can come out of May with a winning record and can still be in the hunt, that they have a chance, right? They have a good chance here at doing some fun things this season, but May very well could be that month that puts them so behind that things start looking bleak and you start wondering if they can actually make a run at the playoffs so far. But let's see. Very fun. What do we got? Piece of Yoshi says, oh God, we lost Damon. Where did we lose Damon to?
We lost me because B said Star Trek over Star Wars, and I just said bees.
No bees. Those two things aren't even close to being the same thing. Okay, a Star Wars and a Star Trek, totally different things. Space is the only conceivable middle ground that those two things have.
People are talking favorite Star Wars movie in the chat. Derek, are you going chalk, run the damn football? It's Empire Strikes Back.
It's Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
It is Empire Strikes Back. And I'm going to tell you why. There's lots of good theories as to why Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie. I'm going to tell you, show me another movie that had that level of stakes. Had stakes. You know why I love Transformers to this day? Because they had the audacity to kill Optimus Prime. Empire Strikes Back ends on such a down note, man. And not only that, but I was a kid, so I got to see little adorable teddy bears save the day in the next movie. Get away from it. There's no way that there was a better movie.
I cried when there's that one scene where an Ewok dies and another Ewok friend of his runs up to him and starts shaking him. I was like 6 years old and I was like, but
just traumatized
so
by that.
Sweet and they're best friends and now he's dead.
Yeah. No, I'm still traumatized by Han Solo being lowered into the carbonite, right? It's very much an accepting of his fate kind of deal, and I didn't like it one bit when I was a kid. But
I'm a Revenge of the Sith guy. I mean, you see it on the T-shirt. That's more my flow. But
I get it.
I mean, the original is unbelievable. The original trilogy, the first two movies, and the new three that they came, or not the new three, but the prequels.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, not that great, but Revenge of the Sith, unbelievable.
Yeah. I will also agree with Cogs that Spaceballs is one of my favorite Star Wars movies. And if you tell me that you disagree with me, I will send Pizza the Hut. Pizza the Hut will order out for you. That's the way that works. But love you guys so much. Thank you guys for showing up here today at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You guys are amazing. Damon, how much time we got?
We are at 57 minutes and 45 seconds, Derek.
We got a super chat. Let's get this
Let's do it
before we get out of here. Brandon Chips, thank you so much for your super chat. Brandon says, pissed I couldn't make it to the watch party. Didn't want to get you guys all sick. Thank you for that. He said, sounds like fun. Here's a Jack and Coke. Love you, Brandon. Appreciate it. I'm gonna go take you up on that.
Derek,
now.
You wish Derek was gonna use it on Jack or Coke, but Derek's walking straight down to the roulette table and putting it on red.
$10 is going on red right now, pal.
It might be $20.
It might be $40. We'll see what happens. But of course, we appreciate you guys so much for stopping by. Doug Glatt says Rogue One. Yes, Rogue One. An incredible movie. Yeah,
it's a good shout, and that's
probably don't get considered a Star Wars, like one of the ones you don't think about because you just think of the 9, right?
And that to your point, like even people that are not as big of Star Wars heads really like that movie because it's for everybody.
It's like, well, there's some tugging on the heartstrings there. There's real stakes. There's also the fact that you had it's kind of like more of a military movie as well. Plus,
and then at the end, the same thing. It ends on a pretty dark note.
Yeah, it does. But the most important thing is you have the best droid in that movie, and that's K2SO. And there'll never be a better droid than K2SO. And that's
Dude,
all. That's
show your phone screen to everybody as you say that out loud.
I know this is no disrespect to R2D2 at all, but
how can you say that R2D2 is not the GOAT droid, bro?
Because K2SO is so sassy. He's so sassy. That's what the S stands for, sassy.
R2 walked so K2 could run, brother.
You're right. Actually, it might have been the other way around, but we'll see about that. We'll figure that out. We'll do our droid. Droid history. Draft. Yeah, droid draft. What are we doing? Why did we do that today?
We got so much off-season content for you guys.
Oh my God, it's going to be great. But hey, we appreciate you guys stopping by. We love you guys so much. You can follow us on Twitter. I am at @cap_caveman with a K. Damon is at Damon Dog, and of course, we are all Damon's dogs. Bark, bark. Our show is at PHNX_Dbacks, but as always, all roads lead to @PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We appreciate you guys so much for stopping by. We appreciate the Diamondbacks for getting this win today. And of course, we will see you tomorrow with another Mailbag Monday edition of the show. Until then, have a wonderful Sunday evening. Enjoy yourselves. Behave yourselves, Cogs. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun on May the 4th.
We all silly like the mayor.